Do I have any questions?
All right, Coach, obviously Texas Tech's a really good team. You get down early. Just how to evaluate a game like this with that performance?
It's hard. The one thing that sticks out to me is they just look like they're playing a different speed than us. And part of that is their personnel. Part of it is just we got to keep growing as a team. We got to play with more speed of execution. All week I talked to guys about being fighters and being guys that you want to go to battle with. We got a lot of those guys, and they play hard. They won't quit. We just got to be better, and we got outclassed a little bit today, particularly in the first half.
Scott, Taven starts the game, but you guys are pretty thin at quarterback. What did you think of his performance, and also that fact that he looked pretty banged up at the end of the game?
Yeah, he hung in there. I thought Tay played pretty solid. There's always plays, that's any game, plays at quarterback that you can make a different decision or do something a little different. He made a couple tough plays today where he scrambled around and made a play, ran and got us some yards. That's what I really want to see from him. And thought he did a decent job of that against some really good pass rushers and a good defense.
What were you hoping to accomplish with Davi in this game?
I think, well, number one, Davi deserves a chance to play. Number two, we're down to two quarterbacks, and we're trying to finish the season with a quarterback ready to play. That's going to limit what we can call a little bit trying to run Taven. Some of the things that we wanted to do, we felt like we put Davi in for, but I didn't want to play him a whole game either for fear of him getting beat around. So we're playing a good physical team on the road, and the thought was both guys have played well enough to deserve a little bit of time, and we want to split it up a little to try to keep them both upright.
Did you give thought to having him play in the second half?
Yeah, at that point we thought Tay was playing pretty well, and being down some of the things we needed to do with Tay. We were going to put Davi in there at the end, and they went on a long drive.
With Chris Dahmerkamp got hit pretty hard, they reviewed that. Did he explain, did he look for targeting, or did they not decide it was?
They looked for targeting, decided it wasn't.
You look at Miles Montgomery was banged up going into this game. He didn't play at all. Your running backs group, what do you see from that group? I mean, Jay was able to step down a little bit. You guys were able to get some good guys in there.
Yeah, I felt, it's one of the positions. It's just been that kind of year. I felt really good in spring watching Tavion Swint and Stacey Gage and Miles Montgomery and Jaden Nixon, and AG is our fifth, and AG's our second now. And he had a couple good runs. He's inexperienced right now, but he's got ability. So it's unfortunate where we are. The one positive is we're getting some young guys some play to evaluate them and get them some experience.
Is Miles, by the way you're referring to, is Miles going to be able to play next week, or is he done for a while?
Miles is doing everything he can to get back. That's the type of character kid that he is.
You talked about needing the defense to start fast. Texas Tech had two quick drives, and you were behind. What did you see from the defense? What more did you need to see?
Yeah, the one thing I was disappointed at, and I told the guys at halftime, is there's a couple plays where we had somebody stopped, and I didn't see hats flying to the ball, and they got to push for a little bit. That's an effort thing. That's on me as a coach. That's on our coaching staff and the players. Their receivers were good. Their quarterback was good. We got blocked. We didn't get off blocks. We didn't block them well enough. They're kind of the target right now of where we want to be, and it's going to take us a while to get there. But I thought once we settled in, we fought pretty well. We certainly didn't start the game well on either side of the ball.
It's kind of an unfair comparison. You're one of a rebuild, and they have one of the best rosters money can buy. What will it take to get UCF to the point of competing with like a Texas Tech team we saw tonight?
Yeah, I've said this a lot. The parity in the league is apparent to me. This team might be a little bit of an outlier because of the talent they've been able to accumulate. But, we're not at the bottom of the mountain. We're part way up the mountain. And I think we've climbed quite a bit in year one. And we just got to make sure that we do the things to be even better next year.
Is there something you can take from this game against a team like this that maybe you guys can use to kind of maybe work on some things over the next couple of weeks?
It's hard for me to say until I watch the tape. We lost some one-on-one battles, obviously, and that's not necessarily a scheme thing. The big thing for me is I want a team that comes ready to go on Monday and is working hard to get better. We've been so close in a couple games this year. The whole season would be different if we got those. If we got a little better, those games are games that we need to come out on top in. And the next 2 weeks are really important to us to make sure we're getting the reps and doing the little things to get a little bit better every week.
How much did not having Carter and Keegan hold you back from what you wanted to do offensively?
We're just out of guys. We're out of depth. I was excited to see Kinnie go in there. Connor Meadows deserves some playing time. I feel good about guard going in there. We're just short guys at a lot of positions right now. It's just kind of been that kind of year. But, the only time I really noticed this week was a couple snaps that set us back on a couple drives. And those things kill you, honestly, a penalty or a bad snap. But I got a lot of confidence in Kinnie. He's had a good year and really done a good job for us.
How positive was it, though, to have Nigel and Malachi back? I mean, that looked like it could have been serious stuff last week. Those guys, Nigel was very disruptive, especially on that one series.
Yeah, I got a ton of respect for those two kids, Malachi and Nigel. It'd be really easy in this day and age and environment of college football to decide not to play, and that's not who those two kids are. I think a lot of people will take notice of that, including people they might play for down the road. We need more guys like them, and for them to be nicked up and still go out there and fight for us says a lot about who they are.
Scott, you're down, you have Cam and Jakari out for this game. Is there likely to hit a tunnel with those two, and do you think there's an opportunity for them to try to get back here over the next couple of years?
No, I think they're both going to be unavailable. I think we're going to get through with what we had today.
Back to Texas Tech, have you seen a national championship contender play here today in them?
I don't know. I got my head down trying to get our team better, our young team better, and doing it inch by inch, and spending most of my waking hours and nighttime hours at the office trying to make this team get a little better, and we'll continue to do that. That means I don't get to watch a lot of college football on TV like a lot of people. I know this is a good team. They've done a good job with the talent they have, and I'm sure they'll be competitive. I can't speak to how they compare to other teams from other leagues.
Besides your team's fight, what are you most encouraged about a performance like this?
I think the learning process of this, it's you got to teach a lot of lessons and get guys to understand a lot of things as a coach. And sometimes words are enough, sometimes they're not. Sometimes you have to go through experiences, and good or bad, you got to learn from them and get better. And first year we've had some heartbreak and we've gotten our butt kicked a couple times, and we need to learn from that. But it's good for our kids to see a picture of what it looks like to be the best team in the league right now. And once we settled in, I thought we were at least competitive. Certainly, we could have played that game a lot of times. I don't think we'd have won it. But it's good for our kids to get a picture of what that looks like and be able to start working to cut the gap.
How important is it to regroup and try to get a win next week for these guys on senior night?
The whole season's next week to me, the whole season. And I said it to the team after the game, and I'm not making it up. I can't wait to get back to work on Monday night, put a game plan in, get better at that, do a lot of the little things better, play with more intention, more speed, make a few more plays, eliminate some mistakes, play together, and go fight with this group again. We got some really neat kids on this team. There's a few we won't have around anymore after this year. And these last two games matter a lot, starting with practice on Monday night. Yeah.
Center Cam Kinnie?
Oh,
All right, Cam, I know this was a difficult loss. Just how do you kind of take this win, and what did you see out there, especially for you playing center too?
it was a tough loss, but it was encouraging to see the way the team attacked the second half. A lot of teams would just lay down, but I say both sides of the ball, we came out and fought and, played a good second half for sure.
We were asking Scott about this, just the idea of going up against a team that's top 10 team, probably in the college football playoff. Is there anything you could take from this loss? I mean, looking at them as a program and thinking where you guys maybe could be in the future?
Yeah, it's especially when that's where you want to be. You look at that team like, okay, so how can we get on that level and how can we execute the way that they executed? It's not that they had like the best athletes or whatever the case may be. They just went out there and executed better than we did today. So just how can we play in and play out, execute, down by down by down, and then just go from there. Yeah.
At this point in the season, the hit of depth, what's it like missing Carter and Keegan?
I miss my guys, but it's a next man up mentality, and they have been Carter and Keegan have been very instrumental in the mental aspect of the game. They share what they see, they share the things that they have been taught. So it's kind of like a piece of them out there when you kind of take what they say and kind of put it into your own game when you're out there for sure.
How do you evaluate your performance?
I say I got to do better. It was an okay game, but there's always room for improvement. So we're gonna hit the film and come back next week, ready to go.
I gotta ask, what was it like going head to head with Lee Hunter? Did you guys share any words on the field?
Oh yeah, no. Lee loves to talk, and we love to talk back. It was good seeing Lee again. Obviously, it sucks that he was in a different color jersey, but it was just like practice all over again. So it was a familiar face out there. Good to compete against him. Good to put him in the ground one time. Hopefully he don't hear that, but it was good to compete against Lee again for sure.
Scott talked about this next week's game against Oklahoma State kind of being the game that he really wants to focus on. It's senior night, it's a senior game. How important is this game for you guys?
It's very important. The cliche would be it's another game, but I would say it's important because it's good to get a win for sure. So just to come out and just execute the way that we know that we can execute, it's gonna be a great game.
Besides this team's fight to the end, what can you be encouraged about in a loss like this?
I say the togetherness. I'd say that no one hung their head. The offense picked up the defense picked up the offense. It was just a good team vibe, especially when we're in there after the game. We know that got to kind of flush this one, get to the next one, so we can move on and get better for sure.
Is it dawned on you that you're about to get ready for a final home game? You're not the only one in that boat too. How important is that to try to get a win next week?
Oh yeah, it's extremely important. I kind of try to take the season a week at a time. Sometimes I get a reality check when someone like you tells me that it's my last home game, but I kind of just try to treat it like another game and go out there and execute to the best of my ability, for sure.
You talked about the depth at the offensive line, but the offensive whole with the quarterback situation and running back, you guys have a lot of guys who are injured and banged up. Have you ever been on a team where so many guys are kind of limited?
I would say no, I haven't, but it's a good challenge to go through. It builds character within the offense. It builds a future for sure. Like those young guys who may not have gotten as many reps during the season, now they're getting a chance to step up. Like AG had a couple good runs today. Like it's exciting to see the young guys step up because it's exciting to see where this program can go for sure.
Davie was one of those.
Yes, and Davie as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Davie's going to be a great player. He's very dynamic as a quarterback, but I'm excited to see him develop and be a real quarterback for sure.
You looked at Texas Tech on film. What's it like to play against them?
I would say it's about as it is on film. They play fast, they play physical, and we just tried to go out there and match that fast and that physicality, and the results were the results for sure.
How do you measure your team against theirs? Progress you made over the course of the season?
I'd say we're continuing to get better. They have a great team. I would say that we can obviously just improve on the little things, just the penalties, just one person missing a block here, one person missing a block there. Just getting all 11 guys on the same page would be the point for that for sure.
This was always going to be a tough game, but what do you kind of say the team is right now? Because after that West Virginia game going to the bye week, you guys are kind of riding high.
Yeah.
Obviously some disappointing losses since then. This was always going to be tough. Where is this team right now?
I'd say we're flushing and moving on. It's a tough loss, but 24-hour rule. We can't let this team beat us twice. So we're just gonna flush it and go on to the next one.
How excited are you guys to get back to practice on Monday then?
Oh, extremely excited. So we can just move on and flush this and get on to Oklahoma State for sure.
And a couple games left. There are still goals that you can achieve this season.
Yeah.
Is that something that's on your mind?
Yes, for sure. We need to go attack these last 2 weeks like it's NBA playoff, like win or go home. We have to go out there and attack it like that because we're fighting for a bowl game here. So we have to go out and attack every day of practice, every game, just like that. All right, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
How y'all doing?
Kelly, I know this is a tough result. Just how do you absorb this, and what do you take away from this kind of game?
Really just that preparation prevents poor performance. So it's like we just got to take a step back. Really just reflect on all the things that we did right, because I don't want it to be overshadowed. There was a lot of good players out there doing good things. Obviously, that's a hell of a ball program, but like I said, just going back to the drawing boards, really taking the film, taking time with the film, and like not just breezing over the little things.
When you look at this Texas Tech team, you kind of feel like you guys are making the progress to try to get there, right? I mean, this
Yes,
is kind of where. And what did you see maybe that you guys felt like we could be there if we do these things that you were just talking about?
I mean, going down by that deficit to start off, especially against a top 10 opponent, especially away, that's just a bad recipe. So obviously, we start, and I think that ties into the mindset. We come in there better prepared mentally, with that confidence, with that swagger, especially on the road. I feel like we have a different story at the end of the day.
Coaches have talked about starting off faster. What
Yes, sir.
happened in those first couple of drives for Texas Tech?
Honestly, I can only speak on like give them kudos, because it really just felt as though we was on our heels to start off with. There's not too much that needs to be said about that, other than like we got to come out there with that fire, with our jaws set and ready to play ball.
You talked about you did some good things. What was good in this game besides the fight that the team showed?
Really, that's really what I was about to harp on. Different positions, different players. At moments, even when things really hit the fan, like I've seen a lot of grit, especially out of like some different young guys, some older guys. So it's like it's I don't want all the good to be overlooked just because of the score. It doesn't really truly reflect like the team, how their approach during the game.
Texas Tech is number 6 in the country, favorite to win the Big 12. Does this feel like, a national championship tag team you faced?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give them too much, but yeah, they got my respect. They got the team's respect. They came out there. They knew what they wanted. They knew what it took to win. And honestly, I feel like I said earlier, we were just on our heels. Preparation wasn't what it needed to be in order to beat an opponent of that caliber. So, like I said, back to the drawing boards.
You guys were banged up, and the defense had a lot of guys coming in and out. Malachi and Najalik were kind of out for a while. They came back in. What do you see from your teammates? And you mentioned some of the young guys, maybe some guys who didn't get maybe as many snaps early in the season, being able to come in and help out when you guys have been kind of down.
Right. I'm trying to find that real right balance between like boosting them and then just explaining the fact that that's just football. It's your Big 12 team. We game late in the season, game 10, game whatever. We're on the back end. We got guys banged up. So next man up. It's got to be a next man up mentality. There's no point in sulking or feeling sorry about what position you've been in. And Coach does a great job of saying, he says, fight the fight you're in, not the one you expect. So this is a perfect example of that. Like, we're nowhere near where we expected to be prior to the season, but this the cards we're dealt.
Coach Ross talked about the sense of urgency returning home now. You still have goals ahead of you. How important then is it to return home?
It's of utmost importance. Really more so for the players like within the facility. I know like I've grown great bonds with these guys, and I know they want it. So it's really just it falls on me and the other older guys really just to instill that mindset of like what practice on even Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday needs to look like if what we say truly will align like with the outcomes.
And this is a senior day that will be that home game. Just the importance of doing that for guys that won't be there.
Yes, sir. And I don't even want to put them on the pedestal. Like, really, it starts off like with wanting it for yourself and then wanting it for the squad, for the program, before any select group of players. So, just like I said, just keep fighting. It's not too much that needs to be said on that.
Well, what about you? You're heading into your final 2 college games. I mean, how bad do you want to try to finish strong?
I mean, that's goal number 1. Nothing else matters, honestly.
Getting back to the next game, being a final home game, what would that mean also to you guys to get out with the win in front of the home crowd, that supported you this season?
I mean, we got phenomenal fan base. We got a phenomenal support system. So really just getting that for them, and like I said earlier, just getting it for ourselves. That's the utmost importance. And it's like Coach already said it post game speech. Like, we got to have the best Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday practice we done had to this day.
As a leader on this team, what can you do to ensure that that's fulfilled?
I need to be more vocal in a way where it's understood, and then the team follows. Like, I don't think I've done a good job to date, really pulling the guys along. And I'll shoulder that burden. I don't have no problem with that. But yeah, really just making sure I'm talking and being vocal in a way where the team reciprocates. So like, the guys want to follow. Guys want this.
And a couple guys on defense like Nigelique and Malachi, they went down with injuries last week. I mean, they could be looking, they want to try to make the next level. They could be just trying to coast to the end of the season. What do you say about those guys that want to come back in a week and play in a game like this?
Honestly, I don't even want to say that them boys want to coast because, like, I'm in the locker room with them. I'm out there in the crib every day. Those aren't the type of individuals we got on the team, like, throughout the roster. So you don't got to worry about nobody coasting. But our biggest thing is just making sure everybody keeps their chin up, they crown high, and then we look to the future. Because, like I said earlier, it's a lot of good to be found. Don't want to dwell too much in the past or the bad things.
Outside of the final outcome, what was one of the most frustrating things about this day for you?
Really just seeing, like, my brothers really just go through something like that. Because I know for a lot of individuals, like, this is the first loss of this caliber to any opponent at any level. So it's just like really keeping everybody on the same page and making sure we don't got no bad apples, no cancers.
How does a loss like this motivate you?
It just makes you want to go harder. Right when you think it's enough, it's not. And then, like I said, the season hasn't gone nowhere near what we expected, so we don't got no choice.
You have something more to prove.
We got many things to prove.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you all for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.